I was just talking about how I did this video today for Bayo and Lovewell, like a little Bayo times Lovewell, her face oil, which is so beautiful, the Bayo face oil. I've been using it every day. Oh, I'm actually almost out. So Sarah, I need some more. And I added element to it.
It's in your birthday box, by the way.
I was hoping it was. I was hoping it was because I'm almost out. But I put the combination of it on today. And I do this thing in my content for Lovewell. And I did it yesterday when I was making a smoothie. I'm not conscious of what my thinking face is or if I'm concentrating on something. God. And it's the fuggliest face. Like, I don't know why. My lips turn into the shape of a little bum, like a little cat's bum.
No,
and
what?
Then my whole double chin just kind of cut. Like, it's like my face squishes back into my neck. It's whenever I'm concentrating. And I've looked over at the videos and I've had to say to the girls who work at Lovewell, like, can you just fast forward or like edit that part out because I look gosh, strange. I'm just not conscious. I'm not a very good influencer, guys. Like I don't find the angles.
No, it's good because you're so natural. No, it's great.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, you're keeping it real. It makes you feel like it's like real and legit.
I'm sending this to Sarah, the one that I did today for Bayo and Lovewell, and I was like, you might just want to sort of fast forward through the middle part, the application, because it looks really strange. But it looks amazing. I have to say, like, the combination of the color from Element, it's got the fulvic and humic acids in it, and then the way your oil goes on and the smell and the glow, the combination, I was like, oh my God, I suddenly look like I have like a tinted oil on and then I'm really sun-kissed. And I wore it to school drop-off today, and one of the mums was like, oh my God, it looks so great today. Did you put on makeup? I was like, actually, I didn't. I put on a tinted oil. I just have this amazing oil.
And Element. Oh my God. Well, we actually just implemented this thing on our website where you can get Bayo all over. It's just a shipping price is like a flat fee, which that's the part that we're working on right now is like, we want to get Bayo in Australia. So Teresa's going to help me with that. We're going to figure it out, but
we're figuring it out.
In the meantime, if you can't wait, then you can definitely go check it out and see if you can order to where you live. So.
My skin still feels amazing. I did it about 2.5 hours ago. It feels amazing. And I dragged it down my neck. I have been researching the thing that you told me about, frownies. I've been reading reviews.
Yeah, we got so much feedback on that afterwards. People who have tried frownies before, and some people were like, well, you have to be really consistent. That was the one thing, is that you have to be really consistent. I was like, ooh, I'm not good at that. Like, no, like I'm supposed to be taking like these iron pills right now, and they make me feel kind of sick. And I keep forgetting to take them. And I'm like,
well, I'm meant to be taking prenatal, Sarah. And let's just say that's long behind me. My midwife's like, are you consistent with the prenatals? I was like, negative.
You told her the truth.
I did. I was like, look, I take my Lovewell. I've got my Lovewell supplements. Like, I don't, come on. She was like,
Well, there's so much good stuff in your Lovewell.
My Lovewell exactly has so much. It has the mushroom blend and it has all these things. So I feel amazing. But I know like the folic acid and everything is important. Yeah. So Mark put my prenatals on top of my pillow when he left for America, and I just put them off to the side. I was like, wee, goodbye. I just feel sick
like, cool,
from taking anything, like
anything at all.
Any big pills I still have convinced myself that I'm going to choke or something, and it makes me feel sick. The other day I was at this 50th in Byron Bay, and I saw this illusionist come up. I was talking to this like really interesting woman who was married to this prolific artist, Brett Whiteley, and he was like a massive, incredible artist in Australia. And we were at this really fancy 50th, and his wife is just this total amazing, like glamorous woman, and her name's Wendy. And she's like 85. She looks so gorgeous. I was like, oh my God, your skin is incredible. I was just talking to her about this, and she was telling me about her life, and it was so interesting. And she, you know, like hung out with Bob Dylan and all these. She's just this like iconic Australian woman. And I look over as she's telling me these wonderful stories, and I look over and I see this magician at this party, like this really well-known magician, and he's got this ginormous balloon in the shape of like a sausage, but I'm telling you, it's about like 3 meters long, and he's got his mouth wide open, and he's like putting this penis-shaped balloon into his mouth and like pushing it down further and further, and it's disappearing into his mouth. And I'm like, this dude is this dude, I could not stop looking at him. But here's Wendy Whiteley like telling me these like wonderful stories, and I just start gagging. I start going, oh
no, you did not. Did you
so
throw
I was like,
up?
oh my God, I'm not. And I had to interrupt her and be like, oh my God, this is, I'm just gagging because I'm seeing this guy put this balloon and it's disappearing into his mouth. And is it coming out the other end? Like, I don't fucking know how he's doing this. It was the most insane thing. And this really like beautiful, incredible, like glamorous woman, I'm next to her being like,
oh God.
Like I was like, I can't look at this illusionist. This is everything makes me feel sick. Just the idea of what he was doing was like, I can't. First of all, it was really funny.
Is an illusionist, okay, is she an illusionist or he was an illusionist?
No, he's an illusionist. And I just sort of clocked him out the corner of my eye. He was performing for other members at the 50th. But I was deep in this really interesting conversation with Wendy Whiteley. And I was like, this woman is an icon. And I'm talking to her. And then I started to throw up. And I just could feel it. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit sick. And then I had to explain. I was like, oh, I'm just, because of my pregnancy, if I notice that someone's putting something in their mouth that's probably not meant to be in their mouth, it just makes me feel a little bit ill. Anyway, where the hell did that balloon go? The entire 3 meters of the balloon went into his mouth and disappeared. I was like,
oh my God.
I have been trying to decipher it since then. I was like, maybe he untied the balloon with his tongue in his mouth and there was a bit of air and it was like deflating as he's putting it in. But then where's the balloon?
All of it sounds really gross. All of it sounds really gross.
It's so gross. And my friend James Digan, who we've had on the podcast before, James, magicians make him nervous and he's uncomfortable around magicians. And so Chrissy, his wife, and their friend Jess specifically made the magician come over and perform for James, which I was laughing at because I just know that it makes him feel uncomfortable. And he was like, oh, great.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Oh, this is amazing.
He's like going red in the face laughing.
Oh,
anyway,
my God.
It was so good. Oh my goodness.
Do you know what everyone keeps asking is they keep asking when your vlogs are coming out. Have they already released? Oh my God,
I've got to send them to Cassandra.
Okay, because I've literally had so many people.
I know, me too. That is on my list. Okay, I'm sending them to Cassandra. Do you know the problem with me, which everyone knows is about me if they've seen my vlogs, is I can't stop talking. So they are very long, and to send long videos over is challenging. So I think my first, and just so everyone knows what to expect here, I have not done it the way I've done it in previous years, which is where I do week by week. I've done cluster weeks. So I've done like weeks 8 through 10 and 10 through 13. I have not done this one yet, and I'm quite far along now. Not quite 20 weeks, but close. So this next one might be 4 weeks. But, the reason I decided to do it this way was that week by week, not heaps was changing. And every 3 or 4 weeks, something more significant will change. Like I feel more movement or I'm no longer sick or I have a particular scan or whatever. So I've just decided to kind of do that. But I think as I get further along, maybe I'll try and maintain it weekly. And then they won't be 20 minutes long each time I do it. I've noticed a new wrinkle on my face.
What?
Yes, I've noticed a new wrinkle. So my most prominent wrinkles are my 11s, which are actually now turned into 111 between my eyebrows. I've always had them. And I see them on the...
I've always had these. Do you see these? 1
above the eyebrows?
2, 3.
Yeah, but then you've got nothing in the middle.
No, I still have the middle. They're right there.
Mine are deep there.
These two.
Oh, okay. See, where you just dragged your fingers down, like under your lips, I've noticed that for the first time on myself. I've never had it under the lips, but it's only on one side. So it's a new one. It popped up, I would say, about a month ago, and I stopped smiling and I was like, oh, it still has the line. And I quite like it because it's when I smile, I get these lines, and then it's the line that connects my smile into my chin dimple.
Oh, yeah.
And so it actually is like my little connector to my dimple. And my dimples are one of the things on my face that I love the most because my children got the same chin dimples. So when all my kids smile, they all have these little chin dimples rather than the cheek dimples. Like ours are much lower down. And so it's one of my favorite things when I smile because I am thinking of my children when I see it. But I've noticed that it's this little connector, my dimple to my smile. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. But I've still been over the top massaging it out and being like, how does this one kind of go away? And now I'm like, oh no, it's here. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is where we are now, like noticing all the little wrinkles and the ways in which we're changing and our bodies evolving. And like, what a damn privilege to grow older. But at the same time, like lean into the new way. Like, all right, like no matter how much Bayo oil I put on my face, like it's okay that I'm still going to have wrinkles. And like,
although the Bayo oil will definitely help with your smooth and glowy skin. So.
Yes. And also I think my skin has a tendency to go dry. So keeping it oiled up, I think it's going to help get more wrinkles. But I'm at the point now where I'm really ready to up level my skincare. I'm so ready. I'm like, all right, if I'm doing this all natural, I am really super keen to get it done. And my friend talked about needling. She owns she's a facialist.
Like micro needling?
Yeah, like needling on the forehead. And I watched her procedure and I was like, oh my God, that looks really painful because it looks like little blood dots like after every needle. But she said that it's like the skin regenerates and is like softer and more like fat filled and it's like a more natural route rather than going down the Botox path. And
have you noticed? Like, so someone sent me a picture the other day of like me and them from like last year, and I was like, oh wow, like because pregnancy is so gradual, like I didn't really notice how much weight I always put on in my face when I'm pregnant. Like, and it's kind of, I always call it my like pregnancy collagen because it like kind of just fills everything out. You know, it's like, oh, my skin looks so good. But then I'm like, whoa, it's like, it is, when you look back at photos, I was like, oh, I look so different. Like, is that because there's more weight on my face? I think there is. I think that's what that is. Yeah.
That's what happens.
So that's what happens. But I feel like I've done like a needling kind of thing before. I think when you do stuff that like, helps break down some of the skin layer that's a little damaged, like some people talk about doing like chemical peels. That kind of stuff scares me because I have such sensitive skin. I mean, you can still see, maybe not on this screen right now, because I feel like cameras kind of blur things out a little bit. But if I was able to like take you a really clean photo, I have like scarring from some acne that I had at the end of last year. And I mean, over time that'll calm down, but like some people really take care of it right away, right? Mm-hmm. They do like laser treatments or peels or like things where they can go in. And I've been in a dermatologist's office before and he's been like, oh, we can, handle, you have sun damage. I can see you have like some sun damage and you have some scarring. Like we could take care of that. Someone once told me, you have really defined marionette lines, which is what the lines you were talking about right here, Tess. They called it marionette lines. And I was like, cool. First of all, I never thought about them that way, but thanks for, like comparing me to a puppet. And, and then, sun damage. I'm like, by the way, talk about this sun damage. I use 50 on my face and I don't always wear a hat. But I wear a hat sometimes. My skin is so tan right now because we just went to Mexico, a little baby moon to Mexico. And it's the amount of sun damage is probably done to my face while I was there, even though I put 50 on consistently.
Oh my God.
Is insane. Bananas.
Wow.
Like beyond.
Well, I don't ever wear sunscreen, but I have to change that because my melasma in pregnancy, remember how hardcore my melasma gets? Where it looks like someone's just taken a poo on my forehead, just a poo, and it's just stained.
No, stop.
It's like a leftover poo stain. But I actually do not have any
melasma this time.
I know. Why is that?
Well, I don't either. That's the weird thing. So I was looking back at photos with winter and I mean, there's a weird shadow right now, but there's no melasma here. But like with winter, I had these like melasma darkened areas here on my cheeks. And I kept being like, oh, the melasma is really doing it for me. It feels like I have blush on all the time. Or like bronzer. I'm really tan. Yeah, it was like nice, like bronzer right here in the cheeks. But I did notice this time, like I don't think I have melasma. And I was like, Tess doesn't have melasma either.
Do you think it's because I have a fringe? Like I'm like, is my fringe like a hat, a constant hat, protecting my forehead? But also, I will say we've upped the sunscreen. Living here in Byron, you can't. My kids are, oh my God, they're fully toweled. I messaged Sarah the other day. I was like, I'm at the beach and you'll never believe this. Like my kids are just in the ocean for hours and hours and hours, like unbelievable amounts of time. Because when we'd come down to Malibu, like they'd pop in and then be out. They'd mainly want to just hang out in the sand. My kids have turned into full water babies. They want to be in the ocean all the time. And that's the culture here. That's a lifestyle. You go before school or you go straight after school. And then you have like dinner, you walk around and have dinner and there's live music playing and you can pick from so many different restaurants and then you eat.
And that's like every day?
Every day. There's reggae playing. What? There's like, it's so cool. It's the best
How does
lifestyle.
Anyone even go to school?
I don't think people go to school all the time. It just goes off in Byron, in the little town. There's just such a vibe there. We always come and get acai bowls and boba tea and walk around. No one wears the shoes in Byron. You just walk around barefoot. It's such a cool little hippie beach town. Anyway, so we've been doing that a lot where we'll finish school, we'll come straight into Byron, we'll go get our favorite things and then we'll go to the beach. But I found this brand, which I'm not affiliated with at all. It's the avocado zinc, which I've talked about before.
Oh, yes.
And I just bought like 7 different bottles of it. So one lives in everyone's school backpack. and then we have the rest at home. And I've been applying that more, which I wonder if that is helping. But also maybe this pregnancy is just different. It's just, God, I had a dream last night that the baby was a girl. So, I dreamt that it was a boy. Then I dreamt last night that the baby was a girl.
Oh my God.
And by the way, I birthed the baby, and Mark he didn't make the birth. He was somewhere else. He didn't make the birth. So in the dream, I ring Mark and I was like, you'll never believe it. We had a girl. It was a girl. I thought it was a boy the whole time. It was a girl.
Oh my God.
And then cut to like later in the dream, I bump into Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn is like, oh, we had a baby together. And I was like, oh, I think this baby is my husband's baby. And he was like, no, that's our baby. I was like, what? That was my dream.
And then you like looked at the baby, and the baby looked just like Vince Vaughn, and you're like,
and I was like,
shit,
did I? Oops, did something. But it was so random. And then my like friend was in the dream, and her baby was a boy, but my friend Renee Barge. She was in the dream, and I was driving our babies, and she had just given birth to a boy baby, and I had just given birth to a girl baby. But in real life, Renee's just had a girl baby. So I'm like, wait, is it opposites? Like, am I the one having the boy baby? Anyway, I'm trying to decipher this way too much. I'm looking into my dreams too much.
Oh my God.
And I have to let go. And my friend actually found out, my good friend, who I still won't say her name, one of my besties.
Yes.
She accidentally found out the gender.
How?
I know. It was a bummer. She was going to have a surprise. Her partner went to pick up a bunch of medical forms to move on to their, now they're going to go to their practitioner where they're going to birth. And the woman at the doctor's office was like, oh, can you just quickly look through this just to make sure that's everything?
Oh, jeez.
Boom. It was the first thing he saw. And then he came home and he was like acting a bit off. And she was like, what? Did you see the gender? And then he ended up doing this like little surprise for her to tell her the gender. And then anyway, I don't know what she's having because she hasn't told me. I was like,
really?
You can surprise me.
Telling?
Yeah, I was like, why don't you
you
can surprise everyone. Like you can keep that as a thing that just and then but she was like, cool, yeah, my one surprise, like great. This is, she doesn't know if it's going to be her last baby, but we'll see. Anyway, so I'm still holding on to this idea of a surprise, but like getting downloads and then jumping on them, but also confusing downloads, like that it's not really my baby with my husband, it's my baby with Vince Vaughn.
Oh my God, I'm so curious now because I had that crazy dream, but my dream was like a premonition dream, which was so freaking crazy of like exactly what happened weeks later is what happened in my dream. And so it was like, yeah.
So I'm like, maybe it
was like, so I don't know. You've had both. You've had both dreams.
Well, the other one wasn't I don't think the other one, it was a dream. Hang on. My other dream was about the name. But in the dream,
that's right.
I felt like I was pregnant with the baby that was a boy called that name. So that one was more surrounding the name rather than the gender. And this time it was like, I was looking at a vagina being like, this baby vagina, that is a vagina, isn't it? Like I swear to God, this baby was going to have balls and a penis. Like what? It was so funny in my dream, but I was really happy. I was just like, shocked. Yeah.
This is all becoming really real for me all of a sudden. It's crazy. I was at the beach yesterday with the kids, and there was a mom there who just had a baby 3 weeks ago. So she had a 3-week-old on the beach. It was like her first time walking down to the beach. So she got the baby in the carrier, she has like a Solly baby wrap or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope she pulls that baby out at some point because I really want to see it. Because like newborns, you just can't. There's just is nothing like it in the whole world, you know. Like they're only a newborn for so long, and then they become a baby, right? Like they become like a chunky little. But the newborn is like so unique. It's just like such this fleeting tiny time, and you just like So at some point, I see her start to like move around and I'm like, oh my God, she's going to do it. You know, I'm like stalking her on the beach, like looking over, and she pulls the newborn out and she lays her baby on her knees, you know, that way that we always do as she's like fixing her wrap and like whatever. And I'm dying inside. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like hitting Eric, you know, like grabbing Winter, like, Winter, look over there. You know, this baby, we're going to have a baby like this so soon. And the baby starts to cry and it's so cute. Newborn.
The little newborn.
But it was like, it just became so real. I was like, oh my gosh, like we are down to single digit weeks now. Like we are, we're at 31. Well, when this comes out, it's not going to be this, right? So we're at 31 weeks, something. Yeah. And which means we're getting closer.
Oh
and
my God, Sarah.
I'm thinking yesterday I was doing spinning babies. I was okay, I got to start doing my like, you know, over like my inversions off the couch and
you
then
really
like
have to.
My cat cows and all that. Cause I was feeling this baby kick in the front a little bit. And I was like, ooh, don't you do that. What are you doing?
Yes.
And, the legs, you know, the legs are pretty consistently kicking me on the upper right. So if you're belly mapping, you're like, okay, I'm getting it here. I know the head is down right now, but I feel like baby is sort of like back to side and then sort of like hitting me in the front of my belly with like one of the arms or elbows. So I really got to make sure baby gets back to belly, right?
Yeah.
Got to really work on that. And I was like, oh, this is business. Like I got to start walking more. I need to start really focusing, which I have not been. I was like, how did we get here?
I'm telling you, as someone who birthed her fourth baby, which is what you're about to go and do.
Yes.
I was really organized in terms of exercise. I was exercising a lot. But I've told this story before, but, you know, all my babies are posterior. That's the way they like to sit. They all like to sit. With number one, I didn't know any better, so I didn't do spinning babies. Number two and number three, I really prepped from about as far along as you are now. Every day I did inversions. And even, Sarah, walking on your hands and knees for an hour around the house, doing things on your hands and your knees,
oh my God, how did you do that? Are you wearing knee pads? Like, what do you mean?
No, just, you know, just walking around
just
for
like
an hour.
Hard knees on the hard floor?
Literally.
What?
Literally did it, committed to it with number two and number three. I had the easiest births. Baby flipped to anterior, which is optimal birthing position. And then with Prairie, I could not be fucked. I was like, I'm not doing this. Oh, inversions, dangling off the couch. I don't feel like doing that. Like I'm so big and pregnant. Like I don't want to do any of this. So I didn't do any of it. All I did was I closed my exercise rings every day. I didn't do any of the deep squats. I didn't do any of it. And then I had that really intense back labor for my birth was probably only 4 hours, but I had 4 hours of it feeling like there was a sledgehammer, like just smashing into my lower back. And I was exhausted. So I'm telling you now, make sure you do it. Commit to it every day. It'll just make that birth so much easier.
Am I too late?
No, this is when I started with 2 and 3.
Okay.
So
are you sure?
I've already looked up and saved spinning babies. I'll send you the full link. I've already started looking at it. Like I'm not even 20 weeks yet. Well, by the time this comes out, I will be 20 weeks.
But where I'm at right now, just tell me, am I too late?
No, this is when I started. Because you've still got room. That baby's still got room to get into so much room position. And oftentimes baby will move anterior in labor, which I had read, and that's why I got lazy. I was like, the baby will just shift during labor into anterior presentation. And it did not. Like that baby was, I reckon it only sort of twisted like as it was coming out the birth canal.
Yeah.
Like it was so nuts. It was so insane. I had Mark putting all his pressure on my back and it still wasn't enough.
My doctor did tell me you need to start doing spinning babies. She told me that like at my last appointment. So I was like, okay, I'm on it. I started doing it yesterday.
Great. I would do it every day.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but I would literally just commit to it. And you can set yourself up with like a Kindle or something, like a pillow while you're hanging off the couch, even a show, set up your iPad and watch a documentary or a show or something.
Yeah.
So that you're more inclined to stay there for that whole time.
Well, what are the most important exercises, do you think, for spinning babies? Like I know walking is important. So I'm going to start doing walking, but inversions, like where you're hanging off the couch and you're on your elbows, like upside down. It says 30 seconds. So do you do that like a few times a day, 30 seconds?
I was doing it consistently throughout the day as much as I could. And then I walked around, here we go, a guide to posterior fetal presentation on spinning babies. This is the one that I saved. And the good thing is they talk about belly mapping, which you've done already. So you know where baby is. I'm
sort of doing it.
So it talks about the 4 posterior positions. And then it talks about, so there's right occiput transverse, right occiput posterior, and left occiput posterior. So it talks about how the baby can move during labor, the 3 anterior starting positions for labor, which are optimal. It's got pictures of the baby. And it's called LOT, LOA, and OA. If you just go on the website, it'll talk about it. So if you can start labor like that, it will just ease your labor so freaking much. Baby's posterior positions may matter in labor, and it can slow labor down and make it longer.
Well, I do think that's why there's always so much, what do you call it? Is it prodromal? It's that 2 weeks prior to
labor.
Yeah, I think that's why I always end up getting so much of that. But you know what's interesting? I told the doctor, I was like, this time I don't have this like crazy pubic bone pain that I had before. And I was like, I don't have it. I wonder if it's because I've spent the last couple of years like doing weights and like more exercises that are, like strengthening my abdominals and things like that. And she was like, that's really good. She's like, it's not that I want you to be in pain, but I do want you to start feeling that, more like intensity there. I want you to, I do want that to happen. And I was like, oh, so that's when she was like telling me spinning babies. And so I was wondering if like I need to relax some of those muscles more. Like if I need to like
talk about the chiropractic work can be really helpful down.
Yeah.
Didn't you do that every pregnancy?
Yeah. I'm seeing someone right now. It's a little different because I'm with a different chiropractor, because I'm living in a different area now. But yeah, I'm seeing someone now who's kind of helping me. My biggest issue is my hips. I think I told you guys that. But my hips absolutely kill me. They're so tight. And when I'm laying on my hip at night, I bet I turn 30 times a night to get off. And
do you have a pregnancy pillow?
It's so painful. I keep trying them out. I'd love any sort of recommendations. I'm using just a bunch of regular pillows and like kind of put them everywhere under my belly and between my legs and things like that. But like the one pregnancy pillow I have is too thick. And then there's this one kind of long cylinder one that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to me.
I like the full body pregnancy pillow. Like the one that you can hug.
What's that?
you can hug up the top and then it goes the whole way down across your body through your legs and down to your ankles. So you can like hug it. It's really long. It's like 6 foot long pillow. That's my favorite one because I just straddle it. I'm also still finding myself on my stomach. I'll wake up and I'm lying on my stomach. Yeah.
See, for me, it's my back. I'll wake up and I've like repositioned to my back, which is not safe, you know? So now I'm like, I feel like I have to like put things behind my back to like stop me from going to it.
You should put pillows either side of you.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I actually can't roll back on my, Oh, it's so hard. These are all the little things.
I know, you guys. This is the stuff. This is the fun stuff though. It's like, someone said to me the other day, like, oh my God, your belly, like they're like, we're going to miss it. They were like, we're going to miss it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to miss it too. Like, it's
my God, Sarah. Is this your last baby?
I don't know. I mean, Eric keeps saying no. But look at his belly.
Oh my God. I love it so much. Look at it.
Let's see. I don't know if you can see baby's like poking right there right now.
Oh my. Oh yes, I can. I just saw a little movement. Oh, hi, baby.
Baby would do like a big hi, yeah, because yesterday it was crazy and I had Winter putting her hands here and she kept getting kicked so hard and she would just laugh and laugh. It was so, oh my God, she thought it was so funny.
She must be so excited.
I was like, so excited. Oh my God, she's so excited.
That's kind of nice about her.
Really cute.
Being the age that she is like she can just lap it up even more. Yeah. She'll be 5 a couple of months after baby comes, right?
She's 4.5 right now. So yeah, she'll be a little closer to 5.
So the beauty of that is like she's just going to understand it more. Like I look at Poet was 2 when Prairie came. She was a baby. Like it's so funny because Prairie still feels so teeny tiny to me and she's 3.5. And Forrest was also 2 when his younger sibling came. And I'm like, that is wild. So Poet hasn't really experienced birth and she has had a newborn around, but she does not remember the fact that she's going to be 6 when this baby comes. Like that is such a nice age to just feel like you have a little dolly and you get to really be involved.
Oh my gosh.
Whereas before it's like you're nursing 2 and you got 2 babies and it's like the first baby, the 2-year-old baby isn't really that hyper aware. They're just like, oh, there's a new thing taking my mummy away a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, at least the milk's really good.
It's different when they like recognize more of it. Do you want to know something that I keep thinking about that is really dumb? But this is like some of the stuff that comes into my head. Towards the end of pregnancy, you think about like the what to expect or something. It was like sent me an email and was like, it's time to pack your hospital bag. And I was like, really? What? This early? Okay. I'm like, gosh, this stuff's going to be sitting in there for so long. But then it made me think like, what am I going to wear? Like, what did I even wear the last time? And
you had like, your
by the time
Beanie and Roy, didn't you?
Oh, my Bimby and Roy.
Bimby and Roy.
I'll always have my Bimby and Roy bra on because it's like so great for giving birth, I think, because
I just flashed you my bra. I was like, check it out. But actually I'm just wearing a bra. So just ignore that.
I'm actually wearing mamouche right now.
Oh, I've been wearing my
mamouche. It's a little sexy for the birthing room, but
it's completely see-through, guys. And in fact,
the one I showed you is not because they have cotton now. She has cotton. That one would be great for a birthing room.
That one's fine. Then. Have you got the lace ones as well?
Fine. Oh yes, those are
like the
so
bralettes.
sexy. Yeah,
they're so hot.
This is like when I'm getting like hot and heavy with Eric, getting hot and heavy with him. What is that saying?
Hot and heavy.
Hot and heavy.
Baby dancing.
When I'm getting like, ready to baby dance, I'll throw on that lace outfit. And it's so funny with my giant belly. I'm like,
hey, baby.
He's like, it's so sexy,
Yeah, that's the best. I was wearing my pink one the other day, and I think I posted this in stories on Instagram. Anyway, my boys are getting surf lessons with this like total hottie ex world class surfer, like top 10 surfer. Anyway, that's who they're getting one-on-one lessons with him. And anyway, so I come down to the beach to watch them or whatever, and it is fucking pissing down with rain, like bucketing down. And I was like, God damn it, I don't have an umbrella. Like whatever. So I'm on the beach with it just absolutely coming down. And I'm just watching, and I'm sitting on a rock, and I'm watching. Then these two random backpacker girls come and sit with me, and they've got raincoats on, and we're just chatting, and they're laughing at how I'm completely saturated. Anyway, the coach comes over with Bodhi, and they were like, he was like, yeah, it was a great session. Like even with the rain, the waves are perfect. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm talking to him. It's like, oh, you're such a good mom. Like you came, and Bodhi, not many mums would just like stand out in the pouring rain. And I was like, well, I wanted to make sure I got some good video footage to show Mark. And then I get back in the car, and Bodhi goes, oh my God, Mum, why is your nipple out? And I was like, what? What do you mean? He was like, your entire nipple is out. And I was like, no. And my shirt had gone see-through, and it was white, Sarah. And I was wearing my mamoosh see-through bra. Oh my God. So it was just a full nipple. It was just the full nipple. And I was talking to this coach for a good 5 minutes, and I was like, he definitely saw my nipple.
Was like,
he was being so polite.
You don't know how good your mom is for being here.
He literally maintained eye contact. I was like, my fucking nipple's out. I can't believe my nipple's out. It was like, what a real professional to just look that mother in the eye, even though her tit is completely out. But anyway.
Like she's pregnant and her nipples are just straight pointing.
It was like my belly button sticking out through the top, and then my one nipple, but not the other one because there was a little bit of a blue patch.
Mortified.
He was like, Mum, you didn't notice that? How many people did you talk to on the beach? I was like, oh God, this is so embarrassing.
Anyway. Yeah, my two new girlfriends, the backpacker girls,
my 18-year-old girl
were hitting on me.
Who I was saying to them, like, please take my number if you need anything. I'm a mum in the area. You're traveling by yourselves. I want you to feel safe. They were probably like, what the fuck?
What a psycho.
We're good. I was like,
that homeless lady with that really nice bra on the beach
with that one nipple sticking out. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
so good.
Fun times.
All right. Well, Daisies, we love you. And pretty soon, let's see, this episode comes out on, I'm going to look. This episode comes out on April 17th. And as you all know, on April 28th, 29th in Australia, but April 28th in the US, we have our Daisy Dream Circle. Woohoo! Yoo-hoo! So check our website for the updated time. We got a little mixed up on daylight saving situation. Yes. But if you haven't signed up, make sure you go ahead and sign up for it. We are so pumped. We did these amazing books through Once Upon, and we put all of our like manifestation stuff together for our dream circle, and got it all ready, and we were hot and ready to go at the beginning of the year, and then so many things happened. So
as you know
now, as you know,
can I say one thing? My Once Upon book, I've looked through.
Yeah, what?
I made that before I was pregnant. And so much of it is being pregnant. So much of my book is pregnancy bellies and like, how cool is that? I know I made it in December before I knew I was pregnant, and the whole time it was about, like having a baby and bellies.
I made mine in December too, and mine was about a new house.
Morbid. That wasn't exactly how you wanted to get to the new house. That wasn't in the plan. But look, the universe works in extremely strange ways.
Yeah, I just think like that was something that was already, you know, something that was happening, and we were just sort of being guided in that direction, right? Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. Anyway, we're so excited to manifest with you guys and have this dream circle and create these books together and just make 2025 and into 2026 such a magical time and something that we can like do as a group. So join us then. And you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We love you.
Love you, daisies. Peace out.
Bye.